What's up, fam? This your boy Cut to the Chase TV. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and be sure to share this video. I got some news for you Negroes today. New details have emerged into the murder of Jacksonville rapper Julio Foolio after his mom gave an interview and confirmed that it was a paid hit and more arrest is coming. And once that news hit the internet, everybody is saying it's over with for Yungeen Ace. Because what did the police say in a press conference as soon as they arrested his killers? They said ATK was responsible. That's Yungeen Ace gang. So his mom is saying it was a paid hit. She said she got intel from the police. Who is responsible? Who got that type of money to drop on Julio? Because you guys remember Julio Foolio was in all type of interviews talking about his 80,000 on his head. It's been multiple attempts on his life. So I can see why people will jump to the conclusion that Yungeen Ace is one of the people that will be arrested soon. And I'm going to just say this about everything. I'm going to be honest. When you look at the Julio Foolio murder, when you see the extent that his killers went to, drove 4 hours to Tampa, got an Airbnb right beside him, was following him from club to club, event after event, was texting everybody's cell phone trying to get his whereabouts. That's a business trip. They went there for one reason and one reason only, and that's to close his casket. It ain't no surviving this attempt. They made sure it was an overkill. If you really want to be honest about it, we all seen the video. Hit us in every direction. Everybody shooting at the same time. Julio didn't stand a chance. That's all I'm saying. And I believe somebody with Julio Foolio was definitely giving them intel, was definitely in communication with them. Because when you see them walk down Julio Foolio was in a black car. It was tinted. He's in the passenger seat. And that's where they was aiming at. So that's all I'm saying. But anyway, we're going to look at this news clip and they're going to break down all the evidence they got against his hitters. Let's go.
In new court documents, investigators say there's evidence linking one accused killer of Charles Jones, also known as Julio Foolio, to a previous attempt at killing him last year. Jones was gunned down in a Tampa hotel parking lot in June while celebrating his birthday. 3 other people were also hurt in that shooting. Police have arrested these folks: Sean Gathright, Isaiah Chance, his girlfriend Alicia Andrews, and Rashad Murphy.
Let's stop it right there. You see these 4 people arrested for Julio Foolio murder. We got to ask the question, who's dumber? The O Block 6 or the Julio Foolio 5? Because at this point, I don't really know. The O Block 6 was stupid. They all in camera. They hopping out in broad daylight. They do it in a rental. Soon after they whack FBG Duck, they take the car back. They all on camera. Everybody said they was desperate because money was on his head. They did it for the moolah, right? So one thing I know, when you throw money at poor people, when you put a bag on somebody's head, the people that's responsible, the people that's coming to collect, they get kind of desperate. And they throw all type of common sense out the window. Look at these 5. Sean Gathright, riding around with the shell cases still in the car. He got straps everywhere. He didn't bother to get rid of the evidence. You take out a big time rapper, it's all over the news. Bloggers is blogging about it. Everybody doing detective work. You know how us bloggers do. Every time a rapper passes away, we trying to find out who the hell did it. So we do our own investigation. Sean Gathright knew that, and he still didn't get rid of none of the evidence. Alicia Andrews, Isaiah Chance, they all on surveillance video. They written out Airbnb in their own name. Did anybody use common sense? It was 5 of y'all. Did nobody think to themselves, hey man, I don't think this is a good idea. Let's go back to the drawing board and regroup. Did nobody pull nobody's coattail? See, let me tell you gangsters this. Let me tell you thugs this. If you're one of the ones with common sense, sometimes you gotta pull your homies' coattails if they are about to crash out. That was my role. I was always the youngest in my crew, but I had the most wisdom, and I used to stop people from crashing out all the time. I was one of those dudes that give you the consequences. I remember that time I was about like 17, and a couple of the older homies was in my living room discussing robbing a liquor store. It was 4 of them. It was a liquor store around my corner. They needed money, and they were saying, we finna go hit up this liquor store. We just gonna go in, point the strap at the man, take the money, and leave. And I'm seeing them, and I'm hearing them discuss the plot, but it wasn't really making sense to me. So I just intervened. I said, hey man, if y'all get caught, y'all getting 12 to 18 years, so the risk ain't really worth the reward. Because think about it. If you guys successfully rob this liquor store, you might get away with $300, $400. It's 4 of y'all. Y'all got to split it 4 ways. So y'all gonna risk 12 to 15 years of y'all freedom for $100. I said, nigga, we better off getting the job for that. We better off going to Wendy's, flipping burgers. It doesn't really make sense. So I had to stop them. They started looking at each other like, yeah, cuz you right. That don't really make sense. So sometimes as a thug or gangster, you got to stop the homies from crashing out. And I'm very surprised didn't nobody say, we shouldn't get this Airbnb. We shouldn't stalk him. The more places he stop at, the more places we stop at. Once it hit the news that he was hit up, they're going to look at the surveillance footage. They're going to comb through the cameras. They're going to piece together his movements and try to see who's following him. So they should just took a second to think about that first. But let's continue.
Police are still looking for Murphy's cousin, Davion. News4Jax reporter Aaron Farrar now breaks down the timeline of events and the evidence prosecutors say that they have.
These 18 pages were filed to the Hillsborough County Court asking for all those arrested so far in this case to be held in jail and to offer them no bond. These documents also show that investigators say that one of the gunmen involved in this case was found with shell casings related to an attempt to shoot and kill Jones last October. Police say this surveillance video capturing the shooting death of Charles Jones, Julio Foolio, in June is a crucial piece to a long story. What's new in these court documents? Gathright was arrested during a traffic stop in Jacksonville where investigators say officers found a Glock 9mm pistol, a rifle, and 9 spent rifle casings. Detectives say those spent casings matched 2 different shootings before Jones's death, a separate homicide in May and a shooting last October in what investigators say was an attempt to kill Jones then.
Now, this is what I don't understand about Sean Gathright. You take out Julio Foolio. You're using the same vehicle. You got shell casings all on the floor. You got straps linked to other bodies and you're speeding down the street. Are you stupid? You know the moment you get pulled over, the police smell that Zaza, they're gonna ask to search your vehicle. So they're just being a lazy criminal. You could have easily just picked up all your shell cases and discarded them. See, when you want to be a good criminal, when you want to be a hitter, sometimes you got to go the extra mile not to get caught. And I'm not sure Sean Gathright was willing to do that. If my son spilled French fries all in my seat in my car, I'm going to take the extra 15 minutes to get them and throw them away. You couldn't do that with shell cases? High profile hit? You didn't take the necessary 30 minutes to clean out the whip and get rid of it? And now look at you. Look at the position you in. You got no chance of beating this, so go ahead and take that plea deal. That's if they offer it to you, because this is a slam dunk case if you want to be honest. But let's continue.
Investigators also say while searching Gathright's house after Jones was shot and killed, detectives found several rifles in a gun safe and at least one that had a brass catcher, keeping those casings from being left at the scene. Investigators say the shooting was a part of an ongoing gang war. In these documents, investigators also say Chance and Andrews used a cell phone and social media to follow Jones and his friends to 3 different locations in Tampa, 2 of those being clubs where Jones was making appearances that he advertised on social media.
Now let's stop it right there. Everybody criticized Julio Foolio for the way he was moving. We said he was acting obnoxious. He was all on social media dropping his own location. He was moving very sloppy. Everybody said, if you in that type of beef, multiple attempts on your life, you can't really celebrate your birthday like the average Joe. See, normal people can do that. It's our 26th birthday. We can go get an Airbnb. We can get on IG. We can go live. We can call the beautiful ladies over. We can say, if you want the address, just DM me and I'll give it to you. See, we can do that because we ain't really got no beef. But Julio Foolio got real smoke. So much smoke in the streets that it was multiple attempts on his life. So somebody should have pulled him to the side and said, dude, what's wrong with you, man? What you mean DM me? You know we in real beef. You know they want your head on the stick. Hey, brother, it's time to pack it up. It's time to go because you moving way too sloppy. He done had no real one around him, and that's why his life is over with. Now, we all criticize him for dropping his own location, but according to documents, police are saying that the suspects was in constant communication with one of Julio Foolio people that was with him, and they was getting his location from them. Take a look at this text message. Let's go. It says, Gathright phone messages a female. He asked her to contact a male who was with the victims, attempting to solicit updates on the victim's location from 0132 hours to 0225 hours, and stop messaging that person after the suspect crews had a line of sight on the victim in front of the teaser. Now, this is what I want to say. They said Sean Gathright was hitting up a female, telling her to contact a male that was with Julio Foolio to try to get his whereabouts. Now, my only question is the male that was contacted, did they know they was trying to get Julio Foolio? Because if somebody was with Julio Foolio dropping his location, that's the definition of a backdoor. That's the definition of the setup. And that's what Julio Foolio get. He was rocking with people that was playing both sides. It's a such thing in the streets, playing both sides. A lot of people play both sides. A lot of people got the mind frame, if you got beef with that person, that ain't got nothing to do with me. I got love for both of y'all. And those people are the most dangerous people on the street. Because they get used. They get tricked out their position. They playing both sides. They might accidentally end up dropping your location. So I understand why street dudes don't really rock with people who playing both sides. Because they know that's a dangerous game. They know you can be a friend one minute and you can be the enemy the next. So I just felt like Julio Foolio was wrong for rocking with people that was playing both sides. Anyway, he should have known better. But let's continue.
That's when investigators say they all met in this hotel parking lot and the deadly shooting took place.
All right, so that's it, man. Julio Foolio killers was moving sloppy. They was on surveillance video. They got text messages talking about the hit. And it gets worse than that. Because the victim, Rashad, the one we seen crying with the Bible, the one we seen with the little ass dog in his hand, talking about he can't breathe, the one that was weeping, hours after Julio Foolio was taken out, he sent a text message bragging about it. Take a look at this text message. It says, one of Julio murder suspects, Rashad Murphy, aka Ghost, sent a text message to someone hours after Julio was killed. And this is what it said. I'm coming home, my thirst is quenched. Pop a bottle of Don Julio today. Y'all see that? Hours after Julio Foolio was taken out, he sent that text message. He's bragging about it. He's happy that he took somebody's life. But he couldn't really handle jail. Because as we all see in this video I'm about to play, when it was time to get arrested, when it was time to hold himself accountable by law enforcement, he jumped on FaceTime, put the strap to his head, was telling his baby mama, I don't want to go to jail. It's hard in jail. I don't really want to do that. She had to coerce him and talk him out just to surrender. Take a look at this video.
He's compliant. Crawl towards me. Bro, come on. Keep crawling. Keep crawling. Crawl towards me.
Drop that book now.
Drop the book.
Y'all see that? He was all gangster when it went down. But when it was time to get arrested, he was on his belly. He was scooting. Voice got real light. He telling the police, I can't breathe, with the Bible in his hand, a little ass dog in his hand. It's one thing about the streets, man. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, and I'm gonna just break it down. Once you facing jail time, once you look back on your actions, sometimes that prison time will make you love things you didn't think you once loved. You find new passions about things. You start finding out you love dogs. You get arrested with a Yorkie in your hand. You got a Bible in your hand. You calling on God now. But when you was out here free, when you was out here in these streets, you was talking about you was on demon time. But when you get arrested, you want to turn into God's little angel. It don't work like that, brother. Is you on demon time or not? Is you a savage or a saint? Can't be both of them. That's what standing 10 toes down looked like. But he couldn't handle it, man. So all you young dudes, it's cool in games when you out here on the streets. When you got your brothers beside you, you got backup, y'all moving as a unit. But once you go to jail, mano a mano, you alone in that 2-person cell, you got to stand 10 toes down. And if you can't, then just don't do the crime, brother. Because it ain't worth it. You're going to have a long life ahead of you. Your shirt going to be tied up. You're going to have Kool-Aid on your lips. You're going to be snapping your fingers when you talk. And then your girl going to be visiting you wondering why your lips is red. For real, man. So don't be one of those type of dudes, man. And I'm going to just say this, man. Julio Foolio mom came out and said more arrests is coming. She said it was a paid hit. And I agree with her. Because when you look at the police evidence, they got cell phone evidence. They got text message evidence. They got phone calls. They got surveillance footage. I think more people played a bigger role in this as well. So I think more arrests is going to come. Now, a lot of people saying Yungeen Ace will be arrested. I'm not sure, but I know he's going to be hit with the RICO. I think Yungeen Ace going to get hit with the RICO. They still investigating him. Every time he comes to Jacksonville, they know his whereabouts. They got informants on the streets. You don't think they hearing the same thing about Yungeen Ace that we hearing about him? We heard he was a hitter. We heard he allegedly got some people knocked off. He was involved in this gang war. So why do you think everybody gonna get arrested but him? I don't understand that point of view. But anyway, guys, those are my thoughts about this whole situation. But I want to know how you guys feel about it. So leave a comment, share this video. I love you guys. Peace.